Devastating Intrigue. Great name for a fragrance. An even better name is Intrigo Devastante, the new scent from Parfums Vintage. If you want to find out what I think of it, stay tuned to FM. Intrigo Devastante from Parfums Vintage is one of their new releases, along with Emerald Isle, which I've also reviewed. You can watch that review up here. This one's based on Dolce & Gabbana's By Man, which was released in 1996. Big fragrance throughout the 90s into the early 2000s. I haven't smelt that fragrance myself, so I can't directly compare this one. I have seen some other reviews that have already come out from people that do own this fragrance, and from what I've seen, largely it seems to do a great job at matching the Dolce & Gabbana fragrance. By Man, because it's been discontinued, sells for a lot. So if you can find a vintage bottle of By Man, people are selling them for a lot of money online. So if you liked that release from Dolce & Gabbana and you don't really want to pay the big asking prices for vintage bottles online, this could be a great option for you to consider. Let's have a look at the notes. In the top, we've got pepper, lemon and nutmeg. In the mid, bergamot, lavender, artemisia. In the base, sandalwood, leather, gaiac wood and amber. Out of all those notes, the only one I had to look at was artemisia, which is a green, herbally scented plant, and it's essentially wormwood, and wormwood is a note also found in another big 90s fragrance, which is Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. And even though this does share some notes with Le Male, to me, it's not similar at all. It's a completely different scent. What I do get from this is, in the opening, it's mainly a big dose of nutmeg, followed by some lavender. The lavender is another quite prominent note in this one for me, and it's got a liveliness to it. It just dances off the skin. It's got an airiness. It's quite a fun, vibrant scent, particularly in the opening. I don't really get bright citruses in this. So we've got lemon and bergamot, which can often provide really bright citrusy blasts to fragrances, but I think they're quite dialed down in this. You do have that liveliness and that zestiness, the way it jumps off your skin, which is maybe provided by those citrus notes, but it's not really citrus heavy at all. It's mainly dominated by the warm spices. And you look at the other notes as well, and there's some woods, there's some sandalwood in there, which must provide this lovely smooth creaminess that you get. And the other thing that I don't really pick up on is the leather note. So when I detect leather, there's usually a sharpness there, usually quite a sharp note, and I don't really get that. This is quite a bright, smooth, warm, spicy scent. Because I don't really get the leather in this, and because the woods aren't that resinous, I don't get a great deal of depth with this fragrance. If you look at the note breakdown, you would see citruses, woods, leather, amber, so you might think there'd be a little more depth to it. I don't get that at all, and it's not a negative. This is more of a linear scent to me. For example, if you take Acqua di Parma's Colonia Essenza, you've got some bright citruses in that, but you've also got some resinous woodsy depth. So you've got quite a lot of juxtaposition going on at the same time in that fragrance. You don't get that kind of depth with this. This is, to me, a lighter fragrance. It's mainly those warm spices, and it's pretty much a linear fragrance, but absolutely nothing wrong with a really nice smelling scent that pretty much remains the same throughout its life. The performance on this one for me is moderate to good, so I'll get a good hour's projection, and then it will remain as a fairly detectable scent on me for around 7 to 8 hours, so not bad performance. In terms of its versatility, it's pretty versatile, this one. It could be worn by anyone of any age, any occasion, any time of year, any gender. It'd really work for everyone, so highly versatile. For me, I just think this would work, as I said with Emerald Isle, Parfums Vintage's other fragrance. It would work really well dressed up in a nice crisp suit. It'd work as a casual scent, but I would really like to wear this when I'm dressed up on formal occasions. The price of this, in the US, you're looking at $139, so it's on the pricey side, but that's for 100 ml, and if you were to buy a bottle of By Man, you'd be paying quite a bit more than that. The $139 in the UK equates to about £102. If I was to find a criticism with this, it would be that for me personally, it doesn't quite have that much of a distinctive character, doesn't have much of a boldness to it. A spicy fragrance that I would reach for that I think has that boldness and is more muscular and interesting is Spice Bomb Extreme. That kind of ticks those boxes for me. Having said that, Parfums Vintage do have an intense version of this out, which is more peppery and has that leather note accented more. So if you like it with a little more sharpness, then perhaps the intense version could be the one for you. I have that in this one, so I didn't really need that in my collection. I'm very happy to have this one. It's a smooth, sweet, crowd-pleasing scent that's very easy to reach for. Okay, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Please let me know in the comments down below, have you tried this fragrance? Have you tried By Man? Do you own both the fragrances? I would be really interested to know what you think and how you compare those two fragrances and how close this one is actually to By Man, having not smelt By Man myself. Please like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell to enable notifications. And until next time, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.